Deep breath out. As you can see by the title, it's an update. What type of update is it? We're about to find out. As you guys know, this is a live update. This is my podcast platform, True Serum Productions Podcast. Listen, okay? Here at the True Serum Podcast, our goal is to help others document the journey. I never, ever would have imagined that I would be documenting this journey live because I never thought I would end up in this situation. I mean, who plans to be in the middle of a title scam with complete strangers who they barely even know? And it's not even the people that you bought your house from. It's not even the people that you pay your mortgage to. Who thinks that somebody's going to come up with an entire scam utilizing unlawful detainers to pretend that owners are really renters and then try to come after them for immediate possession to take their home? And if those people are having a bad day, as I explained to the clerk of court today in the city of Newport News, people could really just be homeless. If you haven't watched the other live, please do. We have since then turned that into shorts to expand our reach of this story. I had a few comments about a movie called 99 Homes. I'm flabbergasted. Let's just start there because the fact that there's a movie, as a mom, I am, I don't even have words to describe the feeling. The feeling that I have is undescribable. Like, when you're in like primary school and they show you the chart and they say, point to which one you feel. If I could point to all of them, I would, because again, I bought this home for my children. I am a generational wealth advocate. I own a nonprofit called Break the Cycle for reasons like this. I help people learn about will and trust and all type of legacy planning and how to utilize your life insurance when you're alive. I advocate financial literacy to the bone. So to be here in this capacity is mind blowing. I'm a mother, as I've stated. I am a wife. I am a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a granddaughter. I'm a friend, I'm a business owner, and I'm saying all of those terms to help you all realize that I'm just like you. And if it could happen to me, it can happen to you. So I've decided that I'm going to document this process through and through. Today is June 4th, 2025, 6:10 p.m. And I'm going to explain to you guys where I am in this process since April of this year, on the 24th of April, 2025. Sorry, overwhelming. So excuse me if I get tongue-tied because this is a whirlwind of emotional type of situation. Anywho, let's get right into it. April 24th, 2025, I came here live updating you all on what you needed to be worried about. Not because I wanted to scare anybody, but because, again, if I'm somebody who did everything right, who have all of my paperwork together, and actually had it dismissed out of court because of the paperwork that I had, and still, mhm, right now, today, just left the courthouse, finding out that everything, all of this, the court dates, fraudulent. The cases can't even be found because they were automatically expunged due to a new law that they passed in January that says if pretty much broken down to the ridiculous. If you dismiss the case and you, as a defendant, won, we just slash it off of your name. That's not the problem, okay? Because there are people who really need those services, correct? Here's the problem I had. I was told to call down to the Supreme Court. I followed directions. I did that. Just to find out that the Supreme Court has no database of these records. So I need the court report. I need documentation proving that it was dismissed and the summary of the case and what happened during the actual time that we were in front of a judge. I cannot explain to you the frustration I feel today because I walked into the courthouse where they told me I needed to go and felt like because of the form that it was on, that they didn't need to hear what I had to say. I'm going to walk y'all through this. I get in the circuit court, go through the search, the bailiffs are having their conversation. I walk into the clerk's office. I walk up to the young lady in circuit court. I say, hey, I have documents. I was told by a judge that my case would never be tried in a general district court because it's a title matter and that we needed to come to circuit. As I began to explain to her, she kept trying to cut me off and cut me off and cut me off. And I said, ma'am, I have more to say when you're ready. Wait for her. She goes and gets somebody else after I explain this whole story to her. She's like, oh, she has documents. This lady snatches my receipt off of the counter. Ma'am, I say, can you please put that back? Oh no, I was filing documents when you came in. No, you were not. Can you please put that back? And she goes, oh, this yours? I need that. Thank you. Got that back. This is the receipt that I got on the day that I was in court on April the 24th of 2025 at my 9 a.m. court case that they have absolutely no record of in their system, nowhere to be found. Not upstairs, not downstairs, nowhere, not even at the circuit court. So it's like it never existed. Once again, you guys, if I did not have the original documentation, I would be in trouble real bad, real bad. Luckily, I had the original court summons that they put on my door. If I did not have that, due to a law of automatic cleaning of the system that the court has going on, and I'm sure it was in good faith that they put this in place, but because of that system, I'm now at yet another stumbling block. This is why it is very important to me, as someone who is an advocate, for the people who makes decisions, aka the decision makers, to make decisions with the people instead of for the people. Because whomever the study focus group was that said, hey, it's a great idea to just make sure that people don't have to come back, get their fingerprints, and get all the things done to get their record expunged. I wholeheartedly agree. As someone who's had to go through that process myself, I promise you, great system. However, comma, where were the contingencies, the conversations, the study groups about the people who can't fit in the cookie cutter ABC same protocol as everyone else? Because some of us sometimes have a different situation. We're not robots. You get what I'm saying? No one thought about that. No one thought about, oh, what if there's a something happen or something, this is court. So the possibilities are endless, by the way. Where are we going to store them just in case that person wants proof that this took place? Hmm? Where? Where are we going to store them? How are we going to store them? Hmm? No one thought that through. So much so that the Supreme Court representative at the administrative office portion was like, you got my wheels a turning. You got me thinking. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, we all should be thinking because I am in a position where somebody again could have walked in my home, took me out of it based off of them filling out a piece of paper that they printed out online. And the lady told me, that's not possible. I said, I'm standing in front of you because it happened. It happened. He sent some decoys in here. He's telling them that they need to take immediate possession of my house. The judge is trying to figure out what's going on. She has to try it based off what's presented to her. She can't just make these things up. The lady goes, let me see that paper again. So she looks at my paper and she turns it around and she just is like, something's off here. She gets to typing and she breathes and she said, this is all fraudulent. I said, I'm consistently hearing that word in the last couple of months. Like, this is crazy. She's like, no, because your land contract that you have right here in front of me would deny him the fact of doing an unlawful sorry, y'all, an unlawful detainer. So my husband and I are now looking at the clerk like, what that mean? She breathes. So you got an attorney? I said, yes. We just approached one this week and we're gonna, have the consultation and go from there because this is getting a little bit tricky. So she's like, yeah, so what have you found out? I said, I came to court per a missed mortgage payment, heard from the judge and the parties who were suing me that I didn't pay my mortgage. I had documentation in hand, in hand. She goes, okay, you had documentation in hand. Yes, I did. What happened after that? I presented her the deed and it got dismissed. Oh, well, if it got dismissed, what are you doing here? Those same people are now coming at me from a different angle saying, hey, we haven't received a mortgage payment in 8 months. Unfortunately, I have said so many times that I do not wish to fight, that I don't think they understand that I know how. Maybe me saying I don't want to makes them think I'm incapable. So I decided to state it again. I am a simple small business owner who bought a property properly, and I just simply want to safeguard what is rightfully mine. I said, please see the court documents that you submitted without any mention of there being 8 missing mortgage payments, but the one you said you never got. I said, so unfortunately, that angle wouldn't work either. Also, keep in mind, that the judge was very clear when she told me, as well as the decoys that you sent there on two different occasions, that we will never try this again in general district court. It is a circuit court matter from here on out. Please keep in mind that we are very, very well prepared to fight this matter in court for our equitable interest in this property. This man goes, all I got to do is file for another eviction. I'll see you in court. I literally said, hey, here are the facts. Here's the proof. What do you want to do? You get 10 days before I have my lawyer go to court. And this gets ugly because clearly this is bigger than me and my one property based off of what I'm finding out because it was the Supreme Court who notified me that he does a strangely large amount of unlawful detainers in the city of Newport News, which is a red flag because who's evicting that many people when you're online everywhere saying you sell houses? There was some crickets for a while, and then he came back and said, I have stated to you over and over again that all I want is the rent. I responded, I don't pay rent. I pay a mortgage. Please see every cashier's check and or money order you've ever cashed that has been debited out of my business bank account for the last 5 years since we bought the property in 2021. There were crickets again. And per usual, I am stating again, I do not wish to fight. I wish to rectify this misunderstanding. I am telling you now, I'm giving you 10 business days to fix the issue, or we're going to have to file a list pendants. Please, I am begging you, if you have the ability to fix it, fix it. I do not wish to fight. I bought this home the right way. I used a cashier's check to close. Everything I've done from day one is traceable. Please think about it. He comes back and he says, I'm trying to help you. And if the whole savior thing comes now. I'm trying to help you, and if you don't want my help, then that's on you. I'm gonna say it one last time before it gets out of hand. Unfortunately, I had to respond with the okay. So what you're saying is you're not gonna change the paperwork to what it's supposed to be. You're not gonna, admit your fraud, which no one's ever gonna do. But I have to follow the protocol and change the commands to do what I have to do to be able to do what I want to do, which is countersue. And here we are. You're just not gonna cooperate. That's what he's telling me. You're just not gonna cooperate. You're being difficult, sir. I'm being difficult. I have been nothing but calm, cool, collective. Because number one, I know God. Let's stay there. Like, stay there with me for a second. It is nobody but God, okay? That I can sit amongst you on this live right now and tell you the things that we are going through, which are very, very painful, very, very stressful, mind-boggling, especially because I'm going to the people who are supposed to keep me safe as far as the documentation is concerned, and they're treating me as if I did something wrong when I'm the one that's the victim. You need to do this and you need to do that. Ma'am, I'm only doing what I've been instructed to do, and that's come to you and bring you what I'm bringing you because wait, there's more. After he told me I was difficult, I responded nicely again. nicely, okay? Very kind, very professional. I said, okay, I am keeping everything that we've talked about right here in the same email chat. Again, as of today, you've been given 10 business days to fix the problem. In good faith, I will continue to pay my mortgage like I have done this entire process, even after you pulled me into a courthouse, did not show up, sent complete strangers that I have never seen in my life, and asked for immediate possession of my home as if I was a renter, when you know this was a purchase transaction, not a renter transaction. This man, y'all, deleted my mortgage account. Ever since court and everything, he's like, just pay digitally. We don't have to worry about it. We were again following directions at the beginning, after the continuance, as they got their stuff together with these strangers. We did not want to miss a payment. We did not want to give anybody the opportunity to say, hey, it didn't come to the P.O. box. We didn't get the check. Guess what? Not only did we sign up, okay? Not only did they receive payments and send confirmation via email, they then turned around after being presented with all the facts and asked to fix the problem. They deleted the entire mortgage account. Today, again, it's June 4th, 2025. I have until tomorrow to pay my mortgage on time. Invoice cleared, mortgage getting paid, as it is every single month. And you delete the account that you told me to make. So now, not only are you calling me difficult, not only are you telling me that I'm a part of the problem and I'm making this harder on myself than it has to be. Not only are you saying it's my fault that you can't keep up with your administrative duties and or the payments that should be filed properly on home transactions. You tell me to create an account. You send me a link to create it. I send you the screenshot proving that I created it. I pay, you receive. You don't complain. We get to court in April. You want immediate possession of my property. Judge says, I can't advise you, but this is no longer a general district matter. Case dismissed. You have proof. We're done. Think about it now. This was April 24th, which means I still had to pay May, and he received it. I got a receipt. June, when you realize you're in probably way over your head than you thought, because again, let's paint the picture. I don't live in what is considered the best community to others. It is the best community to me and my family. This is where we grew up. But to others, they feel like it's, you know, beneath them. And then we're not even going to get on the fact that I'm a Black woman in construction, in IT, a little small private investor from time to time, depending on the situation and the return on investment. But I live in the number streets. Plot twist. I'm going to now say how I feel about it. It's systemic, it's racist, it's discriminatory, And it is the worst thing I've had to endure in my 30 some odd years of life. Because as I begin to dig into this, you guys, this is not a business model. This is a machine. And it's so scary because I'm considered a regular, normal, low class, middle class, whatever they, put me on the poverty scale. I'm considered that. I am nowhere near the top 1%. And again, on April the 24th of 2025, I could have had a complete stranger walk into a courthouse, say they wanted immediate possession with fraudulent documentation, and take it. Take it. And now you're going to delete the mortgage account? I know who owns the law firm that is on the documents. I know who owns the title company who is on the documents. I have done all the research possible to make sure that the paralegal is ready for whatever they need to be ready for, but I have done nothing but try to be kind and give others grace the same way God gives me. But to what end? To what end do you come into the Black community and you treat us like we're worthless, like we're not even worthy of home ownership, like that? And let's not forget that my grandmother, my mother's mother, is currently going through what she's going through with Christopher Newport University. And we're still showing the same amount of grace, the same amount of love that Christ would show us. We're trying our hardest. And somehow we keep ending up in these situations, and then the powers that be that are caught up in it are supposed to be the ones that are helping us? To what end? I have to stand before you today on this live and I have to speak up. I have to say enough is enough. I am super tired of dealing with this as a person who advocates so that we understand financial transactions, so that we understand real estate, so that our family and their assets don't end up in probate court, so that they know that the real will that they need is a pour over will to be going through this. You didn't even think to Google who we were? It's been a very long time since you could Google me and find my mugshot for advocating to not give my son medication to fix a problem that medication doesn't fix, called trauma, a very bad trauma that no kid should have to face, that they need time to get through. So I can't even pin it to that. Like, who did you think you were taking advantage of, is my question. Why did you think it was okay to even try to take advantage of me or my family or my business in the first place? I'm flabbergasted at the fact that we're having this talk. Again, deleted the account that I have to use to pay the mortgage payment on. If you know anything about contracts, you know that if I didn't make sure I had a cashier's check today with the date, I would be in breach of contract. I would be in a bind. My business, as well as I, would be losing said property that we're fighting for, that we shouldn't even be fighting for in the first place. At this point, I'm going to start a GoFundMe for this channel so that I can simply have enough dollars to share these videos so that they reach you all that actually can help. Because legal aid, what are they going to do? I have to pay for a lawyer. It's not optional at this point. If you're going to delete the ability for me to pay for something that you know I'm saying I'll still pay until we figure this thing out, we are very clear on where we stand. And that's not a resolution. You don't want to resolve this quickly and quietly. You want to resolve this in a bullying manner. Cool, great. As I stated in the beginning, I've said over and over, I do not wish to fight. Yet here I am fighting for something that I own. I own my home. My contract is legal, so legal that the case he tried to take me to court for to steal the home got dismissed, and I still walked away and still live in my house right now. And you're still gonna try another angle to take my home? You feel that we're that worthy of homelessness? I've never in my life had to even think remotely close to these type of thoughts that I'm thinking right now, and I've never had to try to dissect, and I shouldn't even have to begin to try to figure out what's happening here. What's happening here? I shouldn't be talking to the Supreme Court about a private transaction that was done in good faith, that was done legally and properly with the proper documentation. I shouldn't be talking about it, but yet here I am. I shouldn't be being treated like I'm crazy at the circuit court that are supposed to have the documents in the court report, or the general district court that should have the something, and nobody has anything. Not even the Supreme Court has anything, because she stated, and I quote, all the clerks are in charge of their own documents. Why would they tell you to call here to the Supreme Court? I feel like you know, I don't, she gave me resources. She told me some websites to look into and to reach out to some district members of certain organizations, but she's flabbergasted as well. And at this point, as I said in my last video, I now have to allocate my time, my mental power, and my talent to fight something I never wished to have fought. I am literally a poverty warrior. Okay. I literally advocate anti-poverty. That's like my whole platform. Generational wealth is literally anti-poverty. And I'm sitting here in a position where y'all are trying to force me into poverty. I can't make this up. I've held you all long enough, but that is my update. I am fighting a fight that I did not want to fight. I own my home. I am still living in it. I have a contract in hand, tangible. It was dismissed via a district court judge. And now I have to decide whether or not we're going to federal court, I'm talking like the United States Supreme Court, or just regular local circuit court, which is still high court, when all I wanted them to do was to right a wrong that never should have happened in the first place. Please keep me and my family in your prayers because this situation is probably honestly just beginning. And I feel sorry for anybody who thinks that this is okay, who's been groomed to believe that preying on people, period, humans, no matter what color of their skin, is okay. Because where we are right now, it's very clear that all of it's intentional. All of it is personal. You personally want this to go this way because you have the power clearly to do, at least you thought you had the power to do what you want. So you had the power to fix it. You chose not to. So now that you chose not to, I now have to advocate. I now have to come to my platform. I now have to rally people and say, hey, I need your help. This is not a matter of revenge. It's simply righting a wrong that should have never took place. Ever. Ever. I'll keep you guys posted as much as I can. As soon as I found out something, you found out. I'm telling you, as soon as we found out that he literally deleted the account. Of course, we had to screenshot everything, make sure we print it out because people like to mess with technology. We immediately went to the bank. We immediately went to the courthouse. And I immediately came here so you guys can know that those are the type of things happening in our city. That's the truth. The real estate landscape that is happening in the city of Newport News, I really feel is twofold. There are people who are really good and they care and they believe in first time home buyer ownership and all the things. And then there's another group of people who feel like we're unworthy, who feel like we don't know any better, who feel like we deserve to be scammed. And I vow to advocate for the second group as best as I can because we deserve ownership too, even if it's in the number streets, even if it's grandmama's house, even if it's 125 years old, it's still yours and you deserve to keep it. And your family deserves to keep it and continue on making sure it's taken care of and it's passed down through generations. As we all know, real estate is the start of the best type of wealth transfer a family of any race, ethnicity, or financial status can give, which is why we did what we did by buying our house in a wonderful neighborhood, a beautiful neighborhood that we grew up in. We can walk to our park. We can walk to our beach. We hold events at our park. We are an adopted spot member in our neighborhood. We got a cleanup coming up June 7th at 9 in the morning. We'll be right there. Later on that day, gun violence prevention. Like I said, advocates in my community. And these are the type of fights that I have to fight because someone saw fit that I was worthy of being a part of the situation. It's sickening. It's saddening. It makes me sick to my stomach. Okay, I couldn't come at her from whichever angles I'm used to using, so I'm gonna delete the account. You didn't think we would get a notification? You didn't think we were screenshotting the payments we were sending in, even though we're sending them in good faith? You did not think that we would make sure we had proof? I've held y'all far too long. This live is ending now. I'm going to share it on my LinkedIn. We started a newsletter over there. You can click on that link in the YouTube page. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. We need your help. We need this story to get far and wide as possible. I am a human. I make mistakes, but what I did not do is make a mistake when I bought this house. I crossed every T and I dotted every I just to still end up in something like this, where somebody again can walk into a courthouse with a piece of paper that they printed offline and say, I need the house now, right now, today, immediately. Y'all pray for me. Have a good day.